Good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another session of Wednesday Wisdom. On behalf of Division B MNS, I, the Program Quality Manager, Ronak Rajay, would like to welcome you all to today's session. We have always tried to, through this Wednesday Wisdoms, we have always tried to bring to fore such topics which are very relevant in today's setting, especially the virtual setting that we find ourselves in. And today we are actually having a session on one such very important technology that we are all I'm sure everyone over here has been a part of since the time, since the last 1 year, since we have all welcomed the virtual world. One platform been at has risen at a phenomenal pace, and that is the Zoom platform. For many Toastmasters meeting that I've attended, almost about 80 to 90% of the meetings that I've attended have actually been conducted and actually are right now also being conducted on this Zoom platform. And I think today it's very imperative to master this platform and to understand the nitty-gritties, the tips and tricks that this platform really provides to each and everyone um, uh, who is who experiences and who uses it. So today we decided, to bring in an expert, someone who really understands this platform really well, someone who has been, I would use the word forefather in Toastmasters to use this platform in the Mumbai circuit, because I remember about a year back when we were hit with COVID-19 and we were just starting to grapple with this new reality, rather the new virtual reality. We were completely perplexed on how to actually conduct the contest. And today's speaker was actually one of the, the person who actually ensured that the show must go on, and was the first one to actually decode the Zoom platform for all of us. So without much ado, since it says mastering this, this session is called Mastering Zoom in 60 Minutes, I wouldn't waste too much of time and let us welcome him under the spotlight. But before this, let me give a brief introduction on today's speaker. Today's speaker has been a Toastmaster since past 2.5 years and has played many roles over these years. He has been a member of GEC Toastmasters Club as immediate past president and All Elite Advanced Toastmasters Club as the VPPR. Undoubtedly, he is a tech enthusiast by passion and has volunteered to leverage technology many times for various Toastmasters related work. He has done several meetings on multiple platforms, including WebEx, Teams, Google Meet, and Zoom. When I asked him what he likes to do in his free time, he said that he loves exploring nature and design. He's an avid puzzle solver, be it the Rubik's Cube, Sudoku, or any other puzzles. When I asked him what his favorite quote was, he said, and very interestingly, I totally love this quote. It says, "A man of tomorrow is forged by his battles today." So with this, with a huge round of virtual applause, please welcome under spotlight today's speaker, Toastmaster Akshay Singh. Akshay, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Ronak, for that beautiful introduction as well as sharing about the moment 1 year ago when we first did the contest. Well, after that, it has been multiple contests, and many of us still would love to master this Zoom platform. Just few things before we start. I shall be diving into various different ways you can operate Zoom during a club meeting, during a contest, or how you can schedule a meeting. All the three aspects I will be sharing today. Apart from this, I shall be using two decks. One is prepared by one of the members of TCS Maitri Toastmasters Club, Ehsan. He's also a very well versed with the Zoom platform. And first deck will be by him. And the second one, which I will be using, it is prepared by me to demystify the Zoom breakout room concept. So let us dive into the deck. Also, I would appreciate if all of you can ask your questions so that later on we can pick up the most common questions and address it at the end. So I hope you can see the screen. Well, Ehsan is a very avid lover of memes. So this is what he feels when you see a Zoom master. Those were the days. This was our, all right. So let us dive into how you can schedule and start a meeting. This is the basic interface which you get to see if you have installed Zoom on your laptop. Similar interface you can also find in your mobile phones. Only the view becomes mobile. What you can do is there are 4 icons which says new meeting, join, schedule, and shared screen. From these 3, we are interested in 2 of them, which is join and schedule. These are present on the home screen of the Zoom app. Now there is also, whenever you are planning to join a meeting, nowadays we have those links wherein we have the password embedded. But if you have the meeting ID and password, you can join using the join icon. You just have to enter your meeting ID, enter the passcode, and you can also enter the name by which you wish to join. So suppose you are playing any role, you can append your role and the name and join, so that it becomes much easier during the contest, or maybe during the important club meetings wherein the members want only required role players to enter before a time. If you have renamed yourself, the Zoom master or the tech master can easily get in the members. So this was on a generic scale. The second icon which we see is the schedule, which is highlighted with the red box. Once you schedule a meeting, you get the topic. You can specify what topic it is. You can specify the start date, the duration for which you want to schedule the meeting, and the time zone you can specify. On the left side, it is a recurring meeting. So suppose say you are the Zoom sergeant at arm of your club and you are maintaining the Zoom schedules for your club, you can make it a recurring meeting such that the meeting ID and link remains the same. So it is very convenient for the members who regularly join to use the same meeting ID and password to join the club meetings. Once you select recurring meetings, you can decide whether you want to recur it for a particular number of weeks or you want to recur it for 3-4 months. You can specify, and each month during that time, the meeting will be having the same meeting ID and the password credentials. The next block which we see is the meeting ID and the personal meeting ID. I would suggest you prefer to go always with the generate automatically rather than personal meeting ID. You can specify the password. Certain clubs specify their club initials @123. You can specify any kind of password, but ensure that it has characters and numbers so that you avoid misuse of Zoom, or anyone who wants to create problem does not enter. Next, you have the options of video, wherein host on or off, you can switch. So a lot of times, if you must have seen, if you joined today's meeting, you must have seen that the videos and audio were on. So if you specify on or off, it depends. Participants' video should be on or off. If you specify off, anyone who has joined in, you will not be able to see their video unless and until they switch it on. Same goes for the host. Calendar, you can create a Google Calendar invite, append it to your emails if you're sharing it with your guests, and they can automatically add to their calendars. And then you can schedule the meeting. There are certain advanced options, but we can explore them once we are go through and very thorough with these basic scheduling part. Once the meeting is scheduled, you can go on to the meetings tab, over which you will get to see the meeting ID and the schedule on the left hand side, which all have been scheduled, as well as you get 4 options. One is to start the meeting, copy the invitation to send to anyone, as well as edit if you want to edit. Maybe if you want to name the meeting as the theme of your club's meeting or the contest, you can edit and make the name changes such that it reflects as it is the theme of the meeting. Very useful when any guest or during the contest, notify all the members joining that this is the right meeting they have joined. Nowadays, we have a lot of Zoom meetings, so better to edit the title such that it is very clear. And you can also delete a meeting. Next is, as soon as you join the meeting, the very first option which you get is join with the computer audio. As you can see in the highlighted blue box, it asks you to join with the computer audio. and there is an icon at the leftmost side of your screen which says join audio. You can press either of them. You can, in the phone, you have the same option on the left hand side which says join audio call via device audio. Sometimes if you are using a Bluetooth headset, you will get options over here. Should you connect to the call via Bluetooth or the speaker of the device or any earphone connected. Now let's go into the basic controls of the device. There's a bit background noise. All right. So first option, as we can see, is the unmute and mute. Based on the click, you can unmute or you can mute yourself. This is a control which is, if enabled by the host for anyone to do so, they will be able to do. Otherwise, only the host or the co-host can unmute participants. Next, you have the start video option. If your host or co-host by chance you have stopped any one video throughout the meeting, they will not be able to start. So you need to ensure that whenever you are starting a video, only do so if it is required, because by chance if the host switches off your video, you cannot restart until the host requests you the same. The arrowheads which you see around these options, in the mute and unmute, you get to select the device to use, and in the start video, you get to select the virtual background. For example, if you can see in my video screen, I have kept a virtual background. You can add multiple backgrounds to this. There is a limit of 200 MB to 250 MB based on the license which you have. If you are using a basic license, it has around 100 MB to store. You can add images. If you have a very strong device hardware, you can also add videos. So suppose say your club has any theme video, you can play them in the background before the meeting starts. So that you can select from start video. Also, there is a lot of times when we are taking group photos during our meetings, and we have to select all the people who are having the video switched on. So by clicking on this arrow, you can select show video participants only. So that gives you only the people who have switched on their video, and it becomes very easy to click the photograph, which you can be used for MOMs, or it can be used by the club to post on social media handles. Next, we see the security option. We'll dive into security in a bit. The option adjacent to security, the participants, will also come into that. Polls is something which you need to enable from the web site of the Zoom account. And polls can be only created or edited by the host of the account. So suppose say I'm the account owner and even Ronak is the host. He or she will not be able to edit the polls. He may be able to launch them, but he may not be able to edit. For editing purpose, you require the login details of your account owner. So best, if you are using it for your club, have a club account ID so that it can be shared among the XCOM and everyone can access the same. While registering for a common account ID, ensure that you are not adding your mobile numbers or any of the email. Otherwise, it usually goes for approval every time anyone logs in. So that is one point to remember. Polls can be launched by anyone, which is co-host or the host, but it can be only created by the account owner. Polls can be shared the results can be shared of the poll by the host only. Co-hosts and hosts cannot vote for the polls. In the poll, if you see there are 19 participants, it is 18 participants who are not co-host and 1 participant who is the host. So always remember, you will get maximum 18 votes. Co-hosts are not counted in that poll participants count. Next option is the chat. There are 3 options in the chat. One, you can make it accessible for everyone publicly, such that any chat messages are entered is going to everyone present in the meeting. Ideally useful during a Q&A session, panel discussion, or you want a keynote is being presented, you want all the messages to go directly into the main chat, you can enable that. Then there is an option everyone and publicly. privately, which ensures that you can share messages and feedback to the speakers privately also. The third option is that you can only share messages to hosts and co-hosts, such that if in a contest or you want to restrict the messages, because every message which you type pops up if any speaker is speaking and it may cause a disturbance. So you can limit it to co-hosts and hosts during a contest, or at all, you can disable it altogether such that no one is able to chat. These are the 4 options available in chat. Share screen has 2 different paths. One, you can share your screen. You will have to select the application which you want to share. And all the other applications which are on, you will not be able to see them. So you can see the blink which is coming on the screen. It comes because I'm browsing through other applications. Though the application doesn't comes on the screen, but you can still get this blink. So best, you can share the application which you wish to share, and any other application if you want, you will have to reshare your screen. If the host has shared the screen, no one else can share the screen. And if you have shared the screen, only the host can override that privilege and share their screen, while other participants cannot. You'll have to stop sharing your screen. One more thing to notice is that during shared screen, there is an option of annotation. So if you go to the top corner, you will see a panel which shows new share, pause share, and more. From the more options, you can select and you can disable annotation. It's ideally useful because otherwise by mistake, some members may scribble or get something on the screen. So you should disable that option. In share screen, you have 2 other options. One is to share the sound. Sound is if you're playing any video, any audio onto your system, you can share that sound. You can also share sound and share screen simultaneously. Suppose say you are playing a video over YouTube, you can select share sound, which is on the left-hand side of the shared panel, and you can share the screen as well, the application. The next buttons are pausing and stopping the recording. Recording can be only done by the co-host and the host. If anyone else wishes to record, they need to request permission. So during your club, if any speaker wishes to record, ask them to message Zoom Master privately that they need to enable the recording permission. Once you have recorded, you can stop the recording. Recording can be now done in 2 ways. One, you can record over the cloud. If you have a paid license, I would suggest you can record on cloud and later create a link which can be shared with the required attendees. And second, you can record it over your system. Only drawback with the system is if in any case your Zoom crashes or the laptop or desktop crashes, you lose the recording. So that's why it is preferred to do on cloud. Because even if you lose your laptop shuts down as a host, the next person immediately becomes the host and the recording is still active. The next option is the reactions, which are basically used to give a thumbs up, claps, celebratory, wow, and hearts. You can use those reactions with various different purposes. If you're asking a question to the audience, you can ask them to give a reaction with the thumbs up and be on gallery view so that you can see those reactions. Otherwise, you can use it to interact with an audience if your speech or any team mod wants to interact with the audience. Next option is the breakout rooms. Again, you need to enable the breakout rooms from the main Zoom website of your account. Polls and breakout room are not enabled by default. You will need to enable this. This is what looks like in your mobile app. You get a similar window. This is for the laptop. In mobile, you get this window wherein you have mute, start video, share screen, you have participants list, and you have more options wherein you can raise hand, you can hide your video, hide non-video participants, and reactions. This is how the participants pane looks like. At the side, there is the chat box, there is the control bar, and then there is the main meeting video viewer. In this case, no one has their video switched on. If all of us switch off our video, we'll get something similar on the screen. So over here, you can usually best to share some screen and share the meeting poster such that it looks much more engaging rather than this window because it doesn't have a lot of information. Next is will be major responsibilities of the host as the Zoom master. Zoom master can be a co-host or host. It is ideally preferred you have a host as Zoom master and a backup Zoom master as the co-host. So putting the speaker on spotlight, muting, unmuting participants, starting the speaker's video, securing the meeting room, granting and revoking co-host access, virtual reaction chats, and breakout rooms. We shall dive into each of them one by one. So if you wish to spotlight the video, what you can do is on every participant window, you will see two options, unmute, mute, and there is the triple dot. Using the triple dot, you can stop the video, start the video, you can rename the participant, you can pin the video, suppose say only you wish to see the video. In case a timer is sharing virtual background, you can pin the video. You can also spotlight the video. Once you have spotlighted the video shall be visible to all the participants. Zoom is now updated such that you can spotlight multiple videos. In this case, whoever speaks, their video comes onto the main screen. On laptop, you can see all the videos which are spotlighted. In the phone, you will only see the video which is spotlighted or which is speaking. And you will see the shared screen. On your phone, the shared screen might be in a bigger window and the speaker in a smaller window. You can just tap it and it will switch. So sometimes in instructions, you can give that instruction such that the speaker can switch to seeing the speaker view and the shared screen can go into a smaller view, or you can ask the audience to put shared screen in the larger view and the speaker in the smaller view. Apart from the video window, you can also do these controls from the participants window. On participants, you get to see unmute more. In the more option, you get to have chat, spotlight video, make host, rename. You can also remove a participant. But just remember, if you remove a participant, the participant can no longer rejoin the same meeting till the time the meeting schedule has ended. So avoid the remove option. It is only done in a very serious case wherein you don't want the participant to rejoin. Muting and unmuting. There are options wherein you can mute participants upon entry, allow participants to unmute themselves, allow participants to rename themselves, and lock meeting. These are the few options which you get to see from the more option. If the video is switched off, you can ask the participant to start their video. If you as a host has switched off someone's video, you will still have to ask them to start the video. Now it's like about securing the meeting. So there are certain options which you get on the triple dot. You can allow participants to unmute themselves, always deselected. You can allow participants to rename because it is fine. We want people to rename themselves. Enable waiting room such that anyone who joins is there in the waiting room and you as a host or a co-host allow them. You can lock the meeting. So these are the two windows. This deck I can share and you all can use it later to communicate the whatever we have done today in your club meetings. Next is you can see advanced sharing options as I had discussed. One participant can share at a time. And who can share? Only the host or all participants? You can specify them and also specify who can start sharing when someone else is sharing. Usually it is selected to only host, but if you select above option as all participants, it is enabled. This is the security option which we had earlier not discussed. Over here, you need to lock the meeting, enable the waiting room, and allow participants to share screen, chat, rename, and unmute. You can select as per the scenario. In a club meeting, you can most probably allow them all these things. In a contest, you can restrict the same. This is how you can disable the annotations. So you can clear if anyone has done any annotations, and there is an option which says disable participants annotation. Suppose say you are engaging with the audience and you want annotations, you will get to see who is annotating what. For this, update your Zoom to the latest version. And if someone is misusing the access, you can accordingly remove them. This is granting and revoking co-host access. So a host can give co-host access and make other people host. Co-host cannot do this, nor any attendee. So if you want to be the host or co-host, you have to ask the primary host or the Zoom master, whoever is there. Apart from this, you also need to ensure one more thing is, suppose say you have a club meeting and your sergeant at arms today cannot open the meeting. There is a way which you have to enable from your main Zoom profile on the website. There is a host access key. What this does is it keeps your meeting open throughout the day, 24/7, if you have a paid meeting. Anytime anyone who enters the meeting, they can use the host key and claim access. So by claiming the access, they can become the host for meeting and accordingly moderate the meeting. This practice is utilized by those clubs which are having a common Zoom account among 3-4 clubs. So there they follow this. If you prefer, you can follow the same. If you want to see how you can do this, you can just put on YouTube, host access via host key Zoom. You will get a training video which is of 3-4 minutes. You can check that out. As I had earlier discussed, the chat, the 4-part, everyone publicly and privately, everyone publicly, host only and no one. Reactions, you have multiple reactions nowadays. The breakout room option, I shall dive into the second part of it. One thing is that if someone has already created the breakout room, you can assign the members. For assignment, what you have to do, you have to click on the assign part and you'll get a list of all attendees. You can select whom you want to assign. And once you have assigned them, you can open all the rooms. As soon as you open all the rooms, all the participants are moved. I'll come into the breakout more in detail. There are a few new features added. So till here, if anyone has any questions, we can take some of them and later I'll just show the breakout part.
If anyone has any questions, you can use the chat box to put in your questions, or maybe Akshay, we can do it post the session.
All right. Let me know once again if my screen is visible. I'm sharing the PDF for the breakout.
Yes, it's visible.
All right. So this is the manual for breakout room. It can be created by host only and it can be only done from laptop or desktop. It cannot be done from the mobile devices. Once you click on the breakout room, a dialog box appears. I'll just show how the dialog box looks like. So the dialog box looks like something like this. What you can do is you can specify, create how much breakout rooms. So you have to, I saw a question when 2 people share the screen simultaneously. Only the host if is sharing the screen, other participants cannot share. If participant is sharing and someone host shares, automatically the screen will move to host. If you have a dual monitors, you will get to see the second screen. Otherwise, it automatically moves to just one screen, which is the host screen. So in the breakout option, what you have to do is you have to create number of breakout rooms. You can specify as many number of rooms you want. If you do assign automatically, all the participants who are not co-host will automatically divide it. So suppose say right now we have 30 participants. And if I create automatically 3 breakout rooms, 10 people apart from the co-host shall be assigned to these breakout rooms. If I do assign manually, what I can do is I can assign the breakout rooms manually, wherein will have to select these participants assigned to breakout room 1, this participant to breakout 2. And once assigned, but I can also move them among the breakout room. Suppose say you have mistakenly assigned someone, you can move them into different breakout rooms. There is the third option which says let participants choose room. In this case, the participant gets a list wherein which breakout room they wish to join. Right now, I have not seen yet anyone utilizing this option. Very few events when you are doing networking, or if you have certain rooms wherein you want the audience to move in, you can use this option. All right, the next option which you can see is this. On the options panel, when you are creating the breakout room, there is the options. In this, ensure that you always click automatically move all participants into the breakout room. This way, all the members who are actively looking at the screen or who are actively listening, they will be moved to the breakout room and they do not need to accept. This is useful such that no one needs to accept the breakout room because sometimes it becomes difficult. You can automatically move everyone. The next option is allow participants to return to main session anytime. In a contest, if you want to restrict, you will have to disable that. Only when a particular Zoom master moves the participant from breakout to main, they will be moved. So this is an option which has updated recently, wherein you can move the participants from breakout room. The Zoom master or the host can move them. So in a table topic contest or evaluation contest, you can, instead of sharing a message, you can directly move the participant. You can also specify breakout rooms close after how much period. The countdown for breakout room, you can specify to 10 seconds if you're not having any discussion. If you're having discussion and you want to give the members 1 minute, you can specify to 60 seconds. These are the few options which we need to take care when we are creating the breakout rooms. Once created, we can open all the rooms. You can also rename the breakout rooms to whatever you want. Suppose say you are creating, you are doing this when we call a meeting wherein you want members to discuss on various different ideas, say 3 ideas. You can divide them into 3 groups and rename it idea 1, idea 2, idea 3 like that. So there is rename, delete option. There is this assign option wherein you get a box like this. If the attendee is not assigned, you can check the box and they will be assigned to the breakout room. And it will come like this. How many members are assigned? The circle in gray means the attendee has not yet joined. As soon as it becomes green, you can see that the member has joined. You can also broadcast message to everyone in all the breakout rooms. It is not specific to one breakout room. It goes to all the breakout rooms. Over here, once the attendee has joined, you get the move to option and you can move the attendee to some other breakout room. Suppose say after a period of time, you want the attendees to be shuffled, you can move them. As a host or co-host, you can also join any of the breakout rooms. You just need to click on the breakout option and you will get all the breakout rooms list and you can join. As soon as it becomes green, it means the member has joined. Now move to option is like you can move to this another rooms. As soon as you close all rooms, all the breakout rooms get closed. You cannot close one breakout room. Suppose say you want to do that and you want all the participants of one breakout room to the main room, you will have to move every one of them to the main room. And that way all of them are moved and the one breakout room is closed. There are certain links. I will share them onto the chat, but ideally these links are, if you type in Zoom breakout room training, you will get these two links. There are certain official links. Well, there is one link which I think that I feel it is very elaborate and it gives a lot of information. So that's it about the Zoom breakout room, the basic role of the Zoom master, and how to schedule the meetings. Now we can take up any question and answers. If anyone has questions or if anything which they want more information.
So Akshay, there's one question in the chat, which I'll just quickly read out. It says that please clarify if we schedule recurring meeting ID and password with generated automatically remain same or different for all recurring meetings, dates and span of 3 months. This question has been asked by Shreya. So if you want to clarify on that question, you can do so.
Yeah. So Shreya, thank you for the question. The meeting, if you have created recurring, the meeting ID and the passcode remains same till the time meeting is recurring. Suppose you are nearing a date when the meeting is not going to recur, you can make it recurring. You can extend the recurring meeting up to for more 3 months and the meeting ID remains same. So suppose say you have your club account on a club email ID, it becomes much easier to transition the meeting credentials to the next team. And the meeting ID can remain same, which you can input in your Toastmasters portal such that it is visible to all others, and you can also add it to any other platform which you are using.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Akshay. There is extended for this question. So sometimes if we face some issue with that meeting ID and the password, am I audible loud and clear?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah.
So if something misuse happen with that meeting ID and password, can we change that meeting ID and password, or can we control?
Yeah, you can change the password. You cannot change the meeting ID, but you can change the password.
Okay.
For a meeting ID, you'll have to create a new meeting and make it recurring one.
And change the password, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
Passwords can be changed for existing meeting as well, but the meeting ID cannot be changed for existing meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is from Mahesh. The question is there any option to have clap sound in the meeting from audio in computer?
Yes, Mahesh, what you can do is you can download a clap audio and you can always share your screen and share that sound. So I will just show you one thing. Right now, I will be sharing. I'll be sharing only my computer sound. You will not be able to see anything else. And I can share any kind of audio. It can be a clap audio if you want, a drum roll, you can even have that. And what you need to do is you need to just play that whenever you want to. Suppose a speaker has done speaking, you can just play that sound. Like I'll just show right now. Meanwhile, we can have other questions.
Hi Akshay, I'm Sneha here.
Yes, Sneha.
Yes, Sneha.
Hi,
Please go ahead and answer the question.
Yeah. Thank you for giving such an insightful session on Zoom. I have one query. That last time when I shared my screen, so what happened? I did it full screen by pressing F5. But whenever I change the slide, so it is showing me that slides are getting changed. But to audience, it is only the first slide they can see. And I came to realize that later. So how can tackle this?
Yeah, I'll just do one thing. I'll share a slide, PPT slide, and I'll just show you the difference, like how it happens. So Mahesh, you already heard the sound, right? Like I was playing the music, which so it can be played whenever you wish to. You can record a sound.
Yes, Akshay, I've heard it. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, suppose say you have a slideshow. I will just do a slideshow also.
Yes.
But let me know once the slideshow is visible on shared screen. So Sneha, suppose say if I share my screen, okay, and I share I'm sharing my presentation. If I have shared my presentation, right now you will see the presentation window. Though I am on my PC, it says it's in full screen. What I need to do is, whenever I am sharing the screen, I need to first press F5 due to the slideshow mode, and then using share screen, share the slideshow view rather than the presentation.
Okay,
Okay.
but what happened that if I do F5, then might be I'm not able to see the Zoom screen, right?
Yeah. So I'll just show you one thing. Right now, if you see, this is my presentation which I have shared, correct?
Right.
So suppose say I will just do F5. Like I'll just go to slideshow mode. I have clicked on the slideshow if you can see, but it will not see it's coming because just a moment. Okay. Over here, I have the latest Zoom, which allows me to share the screen as well as slideshow simultaneously. Just do one thing, you can update your Zoom and try. Maybe that part will be solved. Because I remember earlier when you used to F5, right? It used to only share the current screen. For the
Yes.
presentation video, you had to switch. But now I believe they have updated it. Today I had updated the Zoom. So you can update the Zoom to latest version, and as soon as you do a full screen, it will go to that.
Okay,
Just
because
try
this is
that
the
out.
only
Any
problem.
queries, you can connect back.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you so much.
Akshay, there's another question on the chat box. You
Yes.
take it.
I'm not able to have a virtual background during a Zoom meeting. Also, I'm unable to add a photo to my profile. I do get these options on MS Team, but not on Zoom. Thank you, Ruxar, for the question. Now, in a virtual background, there are certain devices which support virtual background, and there are certain devices which do not support. If you do not have a camera functioning, you might not get a virtual background option. If you have a camera and a device, so suppose in my laptop it is, right over there, I do not get the virtual background because my laptop's hardware is not that advanced that it can render the virtual background. But my phone, it has the capacity, so I can share the virtual background over here. If you want to update your profile photo, what you need to do is you need to log in to your website. I'll just show you how you can do that. So there is this option called as My Profile on Zoom. In your Zoom itself, just a moment. Meanwhile, I would request other questions to be sent in the chat. And Zoom has shared their update latest one, which has come recently, 2-3 days ago. So I would recommend everyone to update their applications on desktop, mobile, everywhere. Because there are certain times when if you have an older version, it crashes more often. All right, let me know if my screen is visible, Ruxar. So as soon as you enter on your Zoom page, there is this option called as profile. Once you click profile, you can change the photo. You can click change and you can accordingly update the photo. And you can also delete it. In case you have deleted, it will show your initials as the image if you are not joined in from, you have not started your video. Yes, just a moment. Yes, Ruxa, you cannot edit it as a guest. You need to log in and then only you can change your image and the name. So mostly there are certain meetings wherein you have to specifically log in. Otherwise, there are certain meetings wherein login is not made mandate. So you can join in directly. And in that case, you're not able to edit your profile picture. So next question I can see is that, is sharing sound from the same share screen button? Yes. So when you click on share screen, you get a window wherein all your applications which are open, you will get them in boxes. You'll also get two options at the bottom wherein there is on left side shared sound and optimize for video clip. So you can select optimize for video clip if you're playing a video, or else you can just select share sound. This all options are part of basic option. Apart from basic, at the top, you can see an advanced option wherein you have a PowerPoint as a virtual background, which is still in a beta phase. So it requires a very nice hardware in your device to run that. Then there is a portion of screen you can share. So suppose I'll just share a portion of screen, which is just this, like it's just sharing a portion. You cannot see the entire screen. So you can even do that. These options are possible from advanced option. Then in advanced, you can only share the sound. Suppose you don't want to share your screen, you can only share the sound, or you can share the video. So all that options are there in advanced. Otherwise in basic, you can share your application and share the sound together. Can you show please by sharing the screen? Okay, let me just see what I can do. If there are no questions, I'll just take this up.
Akshay, there was one question which was asked earlier also by a lot of people, and this is regarding Toastmasters. Now, during a meeting, normally the timer shares the screen, but in case the speaker also has a PPT to share, so what should the timer do in that case? A lot of people have asked this question, so I thought I'll put it to this forum.
Sure. Thank you for that. So one thing what we can do is whenever a speaker is sharing the screen, the timer can follow a text message. What I follow usually, you can type in text privately to the speaker as per the time, and this text appears onto the screen. Also, at that time, you can disable, ensure that the chat, no one is chatting, so that when you're typing, if you're joining from laptop, the speaker will get a notification that one chat has come, two messages means the green, yellow card, three messages means red card. And in mobile, you get to see the text message on your screen, whether it is green, yellow, and red. The second alternative is that you can have someone share their virtual background as timer cards, and you can pin that video. Either you can pin the video in a phone. If you want to pin, you can just do a double tap. It only supports certain devices again. Or else what you can do is you can ask all other members to switch off their video, only the timer and the speaker to have their videos on, which can be seen if both of them are spotlighted. The other option can be, you can share the screen. You can have the timer give audio feedback, a very mild audio sound, which is only something which the members can listen. It doesn't disturb the flow. That is a very tricky one, but I would suggest either follow the text cue or follow the virtual background. And all the clubs should experiment with both virtual backgrounds as well as shared screen for timer cards and decide which one is much more easier.
Sure. Thank you, Akshay. Also, one more question regarding Toastmasters. A lot of P1 speakers use script while giving their icebreaker speeches. So the question was, is there any software or an app which can be embedded or used together, wherein they can also see their script while giving their speech. Or does Zoom support anything like that?
All right. There is a bit tricky thing which we can do. Like I have tried it, but it is not that effective. It requires a lot of technical knowledge to create. There is an option within Zoom which says caption. So what you can do is you can have one caption master, and the caption master can type in the text of your speech. So it requires someone who can type in very fast, or it requires someone who can copy from a text file and paste in text which is visible on your screen, and then you can. But in that case, it is visible to all. Right now, Zoom doesn't support caption to be shown only to one member. So what you can do is you can have your device, and you can have a laptop, or you can have some device wherein you have opened up your speech and it is visible both of the devices simultaneously and utilize. Or else there is another hack which I have seen YouTubers suggesting. You can place your camera angle at such a way that it is at the eye level. And on your desk, which is just as the distance between eye level and the desk level is like only about less than 15 centimeter or something like that, wherein it should be this much, such that you can place a book, and if you even see down, it doesn't look as if you are looking at your script. Although any speaker who is observing you very carefully, they might notice that you are looking something at down, because eye contact disturbs from the eye level and it seems as if you're looking down. So that's a hack which you can do, but the most recommended way would be to place it on a different device.
Okay, thank you, Akshay.
So just give me a minute. I'll just share my screen, which shows the share screen option. So let me know if you are able to screen. These are the part of advanced option. There is one option which you can do is portion of screen. Other option is only music or computer. This one, you can only do music or computer, is the portion of screen, or it is the PowerPoint virtual background. And next is a video background. The basic one gives you a lot more options. I'll just show them also. Although my screen has a lot of windows open, I will just show a part of it. Just a moment. Let me know if my screen is visible. So this is the option which you get at the bottom left side, which is share sound, optimized for video clip and share. And above you get various different application windows. It is in this format. You get options like select a window or an application that you want to share. You'll get the screen option. You'll get the phone. If you have connected your phone to the laptop, you can even do that, adding certain additional applications. And then there are other application windows which you have opened on your screen. In this way, you can share what aspect of screen you would like to share.
Yeah, Akshay, good evening. Actually, this is Manas. I have some things actually. Yeah, actually, it's a good that thank you very much to give us insights. I have one problem that when I was in Zoom Master and our timer is showing their time card and our presenter give the presentation. Then timer card is, that it is in that large screen and that the speaker is in very small screen. So that
Yeah.
times I am just manually dragging that screens. So is there any
What?
options that?
Yeah. So what you can do is whenever you are not sharing the screen and someone has shared the screen and there is a speaker window which gets reduced, you can drag the size of the speaker window on your laptop and desktop. You can drag the size of the speaker and the presentation and adjust it as per as your convenience. In mobile phone, you can tap onto the shared screen and it will switch with the speaker view. Suppose say you are the person who is sharing the screen. What you can do is you can drag the speaker view to a moderate box, which is like 4 centimeter by 6 centimeter maximum. More than that, you cannot do. So if you're sharing a screen, you will get the speaker view in a very short box. There are certain options in the short box which says you can have all the participants, or you can have just one participant's video, or you can minimize it to just being a name, like who is speaking. So these are the various options which you can select.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Like I will
And
just
the
show
second,
you. I'll just share my screen. Okay. I'll just share my screen. Just a moment. Just yeah. Meanwhile, you can ask me your other question. I'm just showing you the options so that.
So Akshay, since it's almost like 10, I think we can take this as a last question and we can end the session. If there are any more questions, I think maybe, people can either reach out to you or we can share your contact details and they can either email you or that question.
All right. So when you have shared your screen, you get this kind of window. The entire window will be covered by the shared screen and you will get this option. You can select one, which is this. This will basically show who is there into the video screen. Okay. And if you select the show thumbnail videos, it gives you multiple videos. And if you select the grid video, you get all the grid, which shows 6 participants. And if you minimize, you do not get any of the participants' video. This can be used as per the convenience. If you wish to know who is the speaker and accordingly want to time, you can do the second option. You can select second option. Hope I answered the question.
yeah, Akshay, thank you, thank you. Just one last question. Actually, when I attended that crucible last times, so I saw that the timer is using that our cards on the background. So how it is, how we can do that? It is good, looks good.
Yeah. So for that, what you can do, you can select virtual background. Like you can see right now, I will just show you if you see my video. Suppose say this is green, this is yellow, this is red. I can change these options on the go. So it doesn't affect much. What you need to do is you need to just add the cards. So suppose that this is white, which I've added, you can add the next color and you can go ahead. Once added, those images remain in that account. So whenever you're logging in again, you will get those images back.
Okay, thanks. So that times I need to open that virtual background screen. So to change my backgrounds.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Manas, for asking that question. Akshay, thank you so much for conducting this session. I think it was one of the most super useful sessions that I have attended. I think not only for Toastmasters, but for all our professional endeavors, for meetings, for seminars, for weddings, for birthday parties. I think Zoom seems to be the go-to option for everyone. And I think you have done a great service to a lot of people because A lot of us didn't know how to use it the way you told us to do. So thank you so much for taking time out and helping us demystify this platform. And I hope everyone who has attended this session has something to take back. And I'm sure tomorrow there is a lot of things that you can do to impress your bosses via the next Zoom meeting that's going to come in. I would like to thank Toastmaster Akshay for taking this session. To all the participants, to all the audience who came over here and attended this session, and of course to the district director, to division directors for giving us this opportunity to conduct this session. With this, we close today's session, and we'll be back with another Wednesday Wisdom session with again a topic which is very useful for everyone, and I hope that is as interesting as this one. Thank you so much. Good night. You can have
Good
your
night,
dinner.
everyone. Thank you all for the questions.